Hey, it's Friday, it's NYT, and I don't know about you, but I'm in the mood for a little bus compression in Logic Pro. Let's go. Okay, we're in Logic Pro 10 here, and we're going to look at bus compression. Now, we're going to use just stock Logic Pro plugins here, because I am a really big fan, and I have been for a long time, of the stock compressor in Logic. So we're going to look predominantly at drums as a group of instruments and the overall mix. So we're going to pop this compressor off here, and in fact I will take this compressor away entirely, because first of all, here's a workflow tip. If you click on the gain reduction meter here, either in the mixer window or on the inspector here on the left hand side of Logic Pro, bada boom, bada bing, you get a compressor without having to go through 1,000,001 menus to find it. And also as well, what you'll see is once you open the compressor up, your settings will probably look a little different to mine, because I've set mine up to a nominal default that I'm happy with, and then I have hit this option here, which is save as user default. So that means every time the plugin loads now in Logic, I get the same settings every time. So I'm starting from the same place, and I don't have to undo an irrelevant user or stock system template that comes with Logic in order to do my compression. So there's a workflow hack for you as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the drums without any sort of compression. I'm going to play it from about bar 81 here, and then I'm going to stick the compressor on, and then you'll be able to hear the difference. So, a couple of interesting things happening there. One, obviously things came forward quite a bit, and things started to sound quite big, quite heavy sounding, really nice and aggressive in the mix. But also as well, you may notice by the gain reduction meter here, we actually don't get any form of compression whatsoever. Now this is the way I set the compressor up for a start. I quite like this. The secret sauce of this compressor is the distortion in Logic Pro and its stock compressor. So I like it in this soft position here. Now, to give you an idea about what it's doing, I'll play it again without any compression on and also with the soft distortion off. So here we go. So yeah, as you can hear, it's super effective without even compressing. So how I'm able to do this is going to relate to next week's video as well, because as you can see, my faders are quite low. And even though they're quite low, and I open up the drum group here, you can see everything's just set to -8, including the group fader. So this allows me a huge amount of headroom, and I can really start to move things forward with that extra headroom, because I'm not running so close to the 0 dB full scale point on the stereo out. So with that being said, I will look to add a little bit of compression here, but it's worth noting at this stage that most samples in most sample packs are already mastered. So if you're in the habit during production of adding lots of compression to your kick drum and utilizing a lot of processing on percussion sounds and things like that, I'd urge you to think twice and think with a less is more kind of attitude, because a lot of these sounds, they don't need a lot of compression because they've already been compressed. I can tell you firsthand, I'm currently building a sample pack myself to be commercially available, and I'm doing a lot of mastering to those sounds and performing a lot of compression and a lot of limiting and a lot of normalization. So those sounds are ready to go, and that's the industry standard. So less is absolutely more. That being said, what we're looking to do with this bus compressor here is obviously lift things up bring things forward, but also as well, I'm looking to try and control the peaks. Because again, what we're into here, we're actually in a peak mode of compression. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to dial down the threshold a little bit, and you can see the threshold's on 0. And I'm going to play with the knee settings here. And if you don't know what a knee setting on a compressor is, essentially what it does is it's almost like it rolls in the compression as you set the knee setting higher and higher towards 1. It is effectively what we call a soft knee, and it allows for a bit more of a steady curve. Now, if you put it into the graph here on Logic, what you'll see is that we actually get here, you can see at sort of 0 here, you've actually got, you know, a lot of hardness there. That's what's known as hard knee compression. So if I set that to 10, you can see that curve just gets real soft, and we get a gradual roll on, which means it can be very respectful of transients, and it can be a little less audible in the overall mix. So we're going to set that around about sort of halfway, and I'm going to play a section here, maybe a little bit later in the track where the fullness of the drums is. I'm just going to move that to there like so. You can see that jumping around quite a bit. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to calm that down a little bit by adding quite a long release. Now what that does is keep the drums under compression for a little bit longer, and it also allows for a little bit more of a gentler and more even style of compression. Now if I want to highlight transients here, I can do. I'm going to add in maybe anything up to about 10 milliseconds of, or even 15 milliseconds of attack time here. And what that will do is let the first 15 milliseconds of the transients of things like the kick drum, the hi-hats, etc., that'll let them through completely uncompressed. So you get a nice balance between controlling the peaks and being respectful to transients as well. So yeah, you can hear a really nice big difference there. Everything sounds a lot more alive, a lot more forward, and yeah, it really, really works. So to close on bus compression, obviously you can do this on a stereo out as well. Now, this is something I would recommend in a particular case when you're rendering a pre-master. So when you've finished your mixdown and you're ready to go and you're ready to send it to mastering, you've got to hit a -6 dB point on the main stereo out here. So how you can do that is obviously to make sure that things are correctly structured where gain staging is concerned. And again, that's going to be next week's final tutorial on the Mixdown Mastery series. Now, when we add the compressor in here on the stereo out, what I'm going to look to do is not only use a similar situation across the entire mix where I'm using that soft clip to really bring things up, the soft distortion I should say. I'm also looking to make sure that we are controlling peaks effectively so we hit that -6 point really nicely. So let's just have a listen to that in terms of the final mix. I'm just going to change this to 124 so we're on the grid a little bit better. Here we go. So as you can see by me highlighting with the magnifying glass here, we are really comfortably within that -6 dB range for the whole mix. And again, as I EQ, this is again just a very early stage type of mixdown. So once I've EQ'd everything and placed everything, we're going to have plenty of mixdown headroom and also plenty of headroom for the master to move in. So as you can see there, Logic Pro has amazing tools for bus compression, group compression, and a lot of little tricks under the hood with the stock plugins. So all of this and more is on the Mixdown Mastery online course from MYT, which is available now and is proven to be very popular, and the feedback has been off the scale. Been one of the best reactions to an online course that I've done so far, and I can tell you I have put some blood, sweat and tears into this course, so I'm sure you will appreciate that. Sign up is only £99 and the link to the course is in the description right down there. So next week we are on the final week of Mixdown Mastery. Tune in then. Thank you very much for watching and I shall speak to you soon. Bye.